Hello, Mrs. Egger. This is Anita Brown, and before I do my persuasive speech over organ donation, I would like to introduce my audience. And this person over here is my brother-in-law, John. And over here is my niece, Haley. And man in the camera is my sister, Tammy. And they will be my audience. You ready? Okay. Today, my goal is to persuade you to register to become an organ donor and give the greatest gift of all, which is the gift of life. Did you know that approximately 18 people will die today, according to Donate Life America? They won't die because of a car wreck, a drug overdose, or just simply because it was their time. These 18 people will die because their body couldn't hold out any longer in waiting for the organ transplant they so desperately needed. What if this person were your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your son or daughter, or a loved one or family member? Wouldn't you be thankful to hear the news that an organ had become available to save your loved one? Since becoming an organ donor myself and doing extensive research on this subject, I feel it is my duty to persuade others to take the selfless step and become an organ donor. First, I will discuss facts with you about the short supply versus the need of organ donation, and give you some examples of cases in which an organ was desperately needed. Next, I will discuss with you why some people are not organ donors and the myths that they believe. Lastly, I will give you the solution on how to change someone's life by becoming an organ donor. According to Proclamation 8491, given by President Barack Obama on April 1st, 2010, today, over 100,000 Americans are on the National Organ Transplant Network waiting list. Many of them will receive the life-saving transplant they need, but unfortunately, help will not come fast enough for some of those. I would like to share with you a story about baby Ryan. On the day he was born, his parents deemed that the happiest day of their lives. However, it was also the beginning of a long, unexpected journey. The doctors had discovered that Ryan suffered from an enlarged heart due to a too small aortic valve. The first few weeks of Ryan's life, he suffered serious complications. The doctors decided that the only way to save him was to put him on the organ transplant waiting list for a heart. His parents were given a pager to wait for the call, and they remained hopeful. However, unfortunately, before his seventh month birthday, baby Ryan passed away. Due to this tragedy, his parents knew that the only thing that they could do to remember him was to also donate his organs so another family would not have to go through the same pain that they experienced. They felt this was their way to celebrate Ryan's life. I tell you this story to make you realize just how precious lives are. Now I'm going to tell you a story about Lori. Lori had decided at a very young age that she wanted to become an organ donor. When she did reach the legal age to register, she did so without hesitation. Lori was a 35-year-old, healthy, happy, and lived a great life. However, unfortunately, she suffered a brain aneurysm and was very unexpected. The doctors tried everything to save her life, but were unable to, and she passed away. Because she had registered as an organ donor, her family had no questions as to what they should do with her organs, and they donated them. In her death, 7 lives were saved. According to organdonor.gov, your heart, kidneys, pancreas, lungs, liver, and intestines are the major organs that can be donated. Along with those organs, blood, tissue, and bones can also be donated. As a donor, you can save and enhance the lives of more than 50 people. Now that I've talked to you about why the need for organ donation is so great, I would like to discuss with you some of the myths that people believe about this. Myth number 1. If I'm in an accident and the hospital and the doctors know that I want to be a donor, they will not try very hard to save my life. That is wrong. The fact is, the medical team treating you is completely separate from the transplant team. No one is contacted about your status as a potential donor until all life-saving efforts have failed. Myth number 2. Donation will mutilate my body. The fact is, donated organs, tissues, and eyes are removed surgically in a routine operation after your death. donation doesn't disfigure the body or change the way it looks in a casket. Myth number 3, I am not the right age for donation. At the time of your death, the appropriate medical professional will determine what organs are available for donation. Organs may be donated from newborns up, and tissues have even been recovered from people up to 80 years old. Now that I have talked to you about why the need is so great and given you some clear answers to the myth that surround this subject, I would like to tell you what you can do to become a solution to the problem. First of all, seek answers. If you still have questions about donating your organs, there are many websites available. If you just go to Google and type in organ donation, they've got organdonor.gov, donateforamerica.gov. Any questions you have, the answers will be on there. Second of all, decide. Make a decision now to give the ultimate gift and become an organ donor. Take action. Don't wait to register. The next time you go into the DMV to update your driver's license, tell the clerk there that you would like to become an organ donor. Or to take immediate action today, you can go to donatelife.net. There you can go to your state registry, and within minutes you can become an organ donor. Then once you do this, an organ donor card will be sent in the mail, and you will have that on you in the event of your death. Today my goal was to persuade you to register to become an organ donor. I urge you to take a stand and become a person who will be remembered for their selflessness and compassion for others. Don't let another 18 people become a statistic in the books. Give the greatest gift of all. Give the gift of life.